Hey, this is Evan Arnett, and this is a scene made by a friend in Unreal Engine 5. Let's have a look at how I sound designed it. I started off by playing through the level, and then I put together an asset list with basic information and a file naming convention based on sound categories. I've decided good environmental audio generally has a structure with 3 components. The first is non-spatialized background loops. I layered up 2 short stereo loops of different lengths. Because they repeat at different times, the sum of the audio will be continuously different. The second component is randomized one-shot background sounds. In this case, thunder, sirens, traffic, that kind of thing. But there are also ambiguous, quiet, distant sci-fi sounds that help sell the believability of a dense, busy, futuristic world that extends way beyond what the player can see. The third component is spatialized sources. The things that bring set props to life, believable rotation and variety, and a sense of movement as the player progresses through the scene. Water drops and runoff on metal and pavement, the hum of machines, movement of the robot NPCs, the hum and sparking of neon signs, and the passing of the vehicles. There are 3 NPCs here, and I wanted each of them to sound unique when you go talk to them. I imagined this transporter dog robot as a service that the player could hire to make or bring deliveries. I added a real dog bark, as if the company who makes these want them to be cute and appealing to help sell its services. But it's ultimately still a utility robot, so it's layered with a droid/UI type of sound created from an analog synth together with a randomized modular synth that I built in Metasounds. This robot has a vaguely human form, so I needed it to sound a little bit more like a voice. For the big scary guard guy, I created a system of vowels and consonants, which the blueprint randomly cycles through a couple of times to create unique words each time it's triggered. The ambience here fades smoothly as you enter the tunnel. The player has randomized footsteps with material switching, with some light cloth foley for extra motion and detail and realism. The footsteps have a base layer that always stays the same, and a second layer that will change according to the material they're walking on. This gives a good controllable balance between consistency and variety. And because both layers are randomized one-shots, each with separate additional pitch and volume randomization, the result is a lot of variety in the footstep sounds. In this big brick room, the reverb volume allows players' footsteps to echo against the brick walls and really kind of shows off the material switching. As we turn the generator on and off, the only change we see is the color of the light. But the sound here tells the player they've done something important. It shows something that's happening sort of inside and around them and behind the scenes. The weapon sound is built from 3 parts: the attack, the body, and the tail. Each of these have multiple takes that are randomized and layered, so there's a lot of variety that you can get from repeated shots. Thanks for listening. Please feel free to reach out with any comments or questions or suggestions.